killed you. I'm feeling really good on it. I'm really good on it, doing it for 3 days, and this is the 4th. So like the last 2 days, please have some kind of belt or strap ready. It doesn't have to be a yoga belt. If you haven't got one, if you haven't got anything, it could be a bandage. But if you haven't got anything, it doesn't matter. We can do poses without this belt or strap. And just in case you haven't joined me for this sequence, this is quite strenuous. There's quite a pace to it. It's probably the strongest type of yoga I would teach in terms of the pace of it, not necessarily in terms of the complexity of the poses. So it's imperative that you listen to your body. If you feel tired, you come and rest in a child's pose, which is this. If you don't want to keep coming to downward dog, you come to cat-cow, which is like this. So each one of us is going to explore the sequence, which I think is a beautiful sequence in terms of its progression. We're going to each of us explore it according to just where we're at today in terms of our energy levels, state of our physical bodies. So if you'd like to come to standing at the front of your mat, feet parallel, about hip distance apart, arms by your sides, and we'll close our eyes to come into a centering. It's quite nice standing to center sometimes. So allowing your attention to drop into the body. Hopefully your feet are bare and you can feel the floor beneath your feet. Really tune into that. And even draw your tailbone a little bit down towards your heels. And lift your pubic bone ever so slightly, a little bit of a tilt back at the pelvis. And follow the spine all the way up to the top of your head. Relax the shoulders, relax the face. And come to the quality of your breath. Notice the quality of your breath right now and how you're feeling in yourself. How you're feeling in yourself physically, but in all sorts of other ways as we come to practice for about an hour together. The way I put it at the beginning of the gentle class is to observe how your body is holding the day. Or another way to put this is, what are you holding in your body right now? Physically, emotionally, energetically. Really take note of that and almost wrap your arms around yourself and love yourself for what you're feeling right now, whatever it might be, so that you bring it right into the practice without any particular anticipation, expectation. But you could ask yourself that question again of what's brought you to the mat? What quality do you need to take forwards into the rest of your day? What quality of being? And see if you can bring that into the heart of your practice. And then releasing your arms down by your sides. Surya Namaskar A 3 times, Sun Salutation A. So breathing and lifting your arms up. And breathing out, folding all the way down. Breathing in, straightening your legs flat back. So we're limbering in Sun Salutation, so take it easy. And step back to your plank on the breath out. Drop your knees if you need to, otherwise take a breath in here. And then everyone on this first one, drop your knees and roll slowly all the way down. Find the floor with the front of your body. Rolling your shoulders up to your ears, peel your chest up as you inhale, really activate those back muscles. For this first one, we'll come back down again on the exhale. Inhale to all fours. Exhale, find your downward dog and take it easy in this downward dog. I'm keeping my knees bent. I'm walking it out, taking 4 more breaths. So this is your chance to simply say hello to your body, maybe twist around a little bit as you feel in. Breathing into the back of your legs, melting the heart a little bit. Looking in between your hands, and on the inhale, walk or step your feet forwards. And see if you can come straight to a flat back, or a straight back, I mean. And then exhale, fold completely. Inhaling, coming all the way up. And exhaling, straightening, hands down to your heart. You take 2 more. Breathing in, come. Maybe a little bit of a back bend. And then breathe out, straighten and fold all the way down. Breathing in, straight legs, lovely open heart. And either step or jump back to your plank. Take a breath in your plank. Now exhale, drop your knees and see if you can drop your chin in your chest at the same time. Shoot your chest forwards, knees back. And then peel your chest up, inhale. And from here, push through your heels straight back. Heels of your hands, I mean, into a downward dog. 5 breaths, you know what you need. If you need to rest in child's pose, you do. Otherwise, breathe space and energy into this downward dog. It's not about being static. You can move around in it to find where you need to breathe more space. And then looking in between your hands and step, walk. Some people will jump the feet forwards, straight to an open heart, straight legs. And exhale, fold down. And inhale, coming all the way back up again. Maybe a little bit of a back bend. Exhale, straighten, hands down to the heart. We're going straight into number 3, breathing in. And breathing out, fold. Breathing in, straighten. And then either step or jump back to your plank. Take a breath in. And you could drop your knees, or maybe this time you lower all the way down, straight as a stick. Release the toes. Peel the chest up, breathing in. Head comes last. And then push yourself into a downward dog, 5 breaths. All pose of the child. And stretch out. You might now want to really lift the tops of your thighs. Lift your heels and then place your heels down and look for as much space now as you can in the side body. On the next inhale, looking forwards, walk, step or jump into half forward fold. Exhale, fold completely. And on the breath in, coming all the way up, maybe a little back bend. And then straightening. Exhale, hands to your heart. And take a moment to feel the body after 3 Surya Namaskar A. And we'll come to 2 Surya Namaskar B, Sun Salutation B. Breathing and lifting your arms up. And breathing out, sit back in your chair, fingertips to the floor. Really tuck your tailbone under. And breathe in, arms around your ears. Breathe out, fold completely. Breathing in, lengthening the spine. And then step or jump back to plank. And now all the way down, straight as a stick, or dropping your knees. Lifting your chest, breathe in. Head comes last. And push back to your downward dog. And we come to warrior 1. Left foot down 45 degrees. And step your right foot forwards and come all the way up. Inhale. Lift the back heel as you drop your hands. Come to plank. Come all the way down. That should all be in an exhale, but that's pretty tough. Inhale, find your back bend. Exhale, downward dog. Right foot down. Step your left foot forwards. Inhale, come all the way up. Really strong foundation. Exhale, down to plank. All the way down. Inhale, peel your chest up. Exhale, either rest in child's pose or 5 breaths in downward dog. Now I'm going to opt for child's pose because I know what's good for me. And settle wherever you are for 5 breaths. Feeling into the body. Breathing space into the body. And on the next breath in, looking forwards, and walk, step or jump your feet into half forward fold. Breathe out, sit back in your chair. And then breathe in, sweep your arms past your ears, maybe look up in between your hands. Exhale, push yourself up. Hands to your heart. Second Surya Namaskar B. Breathing in, lift up. And breathe out, sit back into chair, fingertips to the floor. Breathe in, lift your arms by your ears. Breathe out, fold completely. Lift your heart, breathe in. And step or jump back to plank. Come all the way down to the mat your way. Peel the chest up. Downward dog. Right foot comes down 45 degrees. Step the left foot forwards and inhale, come all the way up. Lovely and steady and spacious. Breathe out, come all the way back to plank, all the way down. Breathe and peel your chest up. Breathe out, downward dog. Left foot down, step your right foot forwards. Inhale, come up. Exhale, find your plank. Come all the way down. Inhale, find your back bend. Exhale, 5 breaths in downward dog or child. Listen to your body. Come back to the rhythm of your breath. Maybe to your sankalpa, your intention for this practice. Keep alert. On the next breath in, looking forwards and walk, step or jump your feet into half forward fold. Breathe out, sit into your chair. Breathe in, lift your arms up. Breathe out. And here, let's take a breath in, reaching for the stars. And then exhale, hands come down to the heart. Take one hand to your belly and notice the quality of your breath now. Notice the earth beneath your feet. Stay steady. Making sure your feet are parallel. And breathing and reaching up, finding length. Make sure your legs are strong and breathe out, come down halfway. So you're reaching, reaching, reaching. Take another breath in. And as you reach, come down all the way. Any lower back pain at all, bend the knees. And you have different options here. You could be holding the back of your legs. You could be holding your big toes. Or you could take your hands underneath your feet. Pressing your toes into the heels of your hands. And just for one breath, open your heart out. Nice and long spine. And then fold yourself right in as far as you're going to go for 5 breaths. Wonderful opening for the back body. So the sun salutations should have really warmed you up. Now we really feel space into the body. Can you lift the tops of your thighs a little bit up? Can you feel your sitting bones separating a little bit here? You really pour your weight into the front of your feet, pressing the balls of the feet down. And the last instruction I'll give is that use the exhale to draw you deeper down. One more full breath in and a long breath out. And then inhale, come to the half forward fold version. Exhale, hands to your hips. Inhale, come all the way up. Take a moment to feel the body. Love forward folding. And then from the front of your mat, on an in-breath, take a step with your right foot so that your feet start parallel, about 1 meter apart. You take your right foot to point to the end of the mat. Strong legs, inhale, arms up. And exhale, reach, 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 reach to the right. And only hinge when you're ready. So we'll take 5 breaths in this triangle, looking for as much length in the side body, the right side body as possible. So you're not looking to come down to the floor, that's absolutely not the point. Spinning the chest round to the left. It's all about the breath, you see, breathing into this left lung. Left shoulder blade carving round into the spine. 3 more breaths. If your neck is tired, you look down. 1 more breath in. And then breathe out, look down at the front foot, bend into the knee. And bring yourself all the way up, feet to parallel. Take the left foot to the end of the mat. Reach, reach, reach on the exhale. And we're coming quite fast today, straight into Uttita Trikonasana on the left. So take a while to find that length in the left side body. Spinning the chest round to the right. 4 more breaths from where you are. Breathe. Strong legs, space into the ribs. Right shoulder blade maybe carving into the spine. Wonderful pose. 1 more breath in as you really reach. Exhale, look down at the front foot, bend into the knee. Breathe in, come up, feet to parallel. Breathe out, step daintily to the front of your mat. And just observe how Uttita Trikonasana, triangle pose, has possibly created quite a lot of space in the body already. And then on the next breath in, taking a wider stride this time with the right foot. Exhale here, and then take the right foot to point to the end of the mat. But this time the left foot comes in 45 degrees. We bend into the front knee, elbow to the knee. So we'll take a few steps into Parsvakonasana, side angle pose. The alignment is heel to instep. Let's dangle the left arm down. And then inhale, peel it up so it's vertical to begin with, reaching up. Exhale, arm over your ear. So there's a line of energy from the outer edge of the back foot all the way through to the fingertips. It's fine to stay here, or maybe you lower your hand down to the floor, inside or outside the foot. I'm not going to teach the bound version today. If you liked that yesterday, you go ahead. And now from here, 4 more breaths. Spinning up the chest to the left, whichever version you're in. Wonderful opening for the hips. Actually great for the upper body as well. 1 more breath in. As you breathe out, look down. And then breathing in, can you come all the way up? And immediately bring yourself to the other side with the right arm dangling. And then breathe in vertical. Breathe out, arm over your ear. Either stay here or take your hand down inside or outside the foot. And take 5 breaths, spinning your chest to the right. If you want to bind, you can. I'm not going to teach that. That was yesterday's tutorial. And see if you can breathe more space into this pose and feel it from the inside out. Really feel it. Don't listen to what I'm saying, just feel it. Generally good to listen to what I'm saying. Take a breath in. Look down on the breath out. Bring yourself all the way up, inhaling. And then lightly step forward as you exhale. And feel the whole body now. On the next inhale, lift your right leg up and take an even wider stance. Heels are out, toes are in a little. You can bend in the knees to begin with for Prasarita Padottanasana A. Breath in, really lift the upper body out of the pelvis and then pour it forwards, leading with the heart as you hinge. So you can start with your hands underneath your shoulders. You can begin to straighten your legs if that's available to you. And then on a breath in, really lengthen the spine. Find length in the side body. And exhale, walk your hands in between your feet, bringing yourself through. So if you're able to, you're looking in between your legs. 4 more breaths, really engaging up the inner thighs, the inner shin, the inner lower legs. Noticing how this helps lift the kneecaps and opens out the hamstrings at the back. One more breath in and a long breath out. Walking yourself back out so your spine is pretty much parallel with the floor, and inhale. You can bend in the knees a bit. Exhale, hands to your hips. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale here. And we'll take version D. Interlacing your hands behind your back. Inhale, exhale. Really roll the shoulders up and back to give you a bit of room for movement. You can straighten your arms out behind you. Take an inhale, really open the heart, and with the heart, lead and hinge forwards. This time your arms come with you. Only straightening your legs and engaging them if that's right for your body. Please listen to your lower back in these forward folds. And it's completely fine to move around a little bit with your arms to work into the shoulders here. Squeezing the shoulder blades together. And can you pour your weight into the front of your feet rather than the heels without toppling over completely? 3 more breaths. One more breath in. And on the last breath out, drop your hands to your lower back. Bring them round to your hips, soften in the knees. Breathe in halfway up and exhale. And breathe in all the way up. And step to the front of your mat. Take a moment to feel what these poses so far have brought to you this afternoon. A lot of opening, I think. And we come to balancing. So these 2 balances, you could use a belt or you might not want to. The first balance is Padangusthasana. Keep your eyes softly pointing towards one place. And it could be you lift your right knee in front of you. You really need to firm up through the left leg and plant the left foot down. It may be you can hold onto your big toe and straighten the leg out. Maybe you want to use a belt to do that. I'm not going to do that, but if you want to, you could hold a belt around the ball of the right foot with both hands. And now 5 breaths, whichever version you're in. Soft in the face, open in the heart and the collarbones. Keep pulling that right hip back, left hip forwards. One more inhale. Exhale, let go of the foot, leg is still lifted. Take an inhale here, and then exhale, lower the leg. Very strengthening for these muscles here, the psoas muscles, the adductors. Whew. We'll take that to the other side. Strong in the right leg. Lift the left knee up. Either stay here, or take the belt around the foot, hold it. Or maybe you take your big toe and straighten. 5 breaths, whichever version you've come to. Keep pulling the left hip back if your leg's straight. Keep pulling that left shoulder back. Ooh. And accept whatever's happening to you. I'm wobbling right out of it today. Quite hard to accept. One more breath in. And then release, keeping the legs straight. Take another breath in. And release the leg down. Take a moment to see what balancing brings in terms of a quality of breath and experience of the body. And the second balance, you have quite a lot of choices. You could absolutely come into Vrukasana, which is tree. So we're coming into a hip opening one-legged balance, and tree would be a good option. Your foot could be lower down. Please don't take the heel to the knee joint. Well, you might like to come with me and just play around with this pose. I can never remember the name. Where you bring the right foot into the left hip crease. Now, some people can leave that there. Oh, some people, including me today, haven't been able to in ages. Without holding. You might like to take the belt if you want to try and bind in this pose, holding it initially with the left hand. Steady yourself and lift the right arm, inhale. Sweep your right hand around to either reach for the belt or the left foot. So you're really concentrating on hip opening here. Then reach up with the left arm, inhale. And you might stay here. Maybe, usually you need to be holding the big toe to come forwards, but today you might want to experiment with what happens as you bend forwards with this pose, maybe all the way down to the floor. 3 more breaths wherever you are. Not sure I'm going to be able to get up again. And then wherever you are, gently inhaling to lift up that left arm and exhale, release. Fun pose. A lot of strengthening for the foot and ankle muscles of the standing leg. You can probably feel that happening. And take that to the other side. So either coming to your tree, completely acceptable, very good, or coming to this pose with a belt or without a belt, with the left foot into the right hip crease. First of all, hold the belt with the right hand, just to really encourage the foot right up the leg. A little bit of pressure. Inhale, lift the left arm and sweep it behind, possibly reaching for the belt or the big toe. Inhale, lifting up the right arm and either staying here or really pressing your foot into the top of the thigh. Possibly you come down. Do what works for you today. Try not to have any pain in the knee. If there's any pain in the knee, you want to come into an easier version of this pose like tree. 3 more breaths. And then gently pushing into that standing foot to come up if you're all the way down. Breathing in. And then releasing on the breath out. Taking the belt off your foot. Leaving it for a little bit later and noticing now how you feel in your body after balancing. It can bring a lot of inner stillness, balancing. And then coming to the front of your mat. Feet hip width apart. And take a breath in and reach up. Lovely and open. And breathe out, pour yourself all the way down. Breathe into lovely straight spine, straight legs. And jump or walk back to your plank and come all the way down to the mat. Breathing in, peel up your chest. And then come to a downward dog. And step your right foot forwards. Left heel down. Front heel to back instep. Excuse me. I don't mean that. We're coming to warrior 1. Feet are hip distance apart. My fault. Breathe in, come up to 5 breaths in warrior 1. So you could start with both legs straight, just to square off your pelvis, and then bend into the front knee. Couple of tips. Drag the tailbone down towards the back heel, so you're not too curly-whirly in the lower back. Your core abdominal muscles are supporting the lower back, and then from there, open out into However much of a back bend and an exuberant warrior that you feel is right for you energetically today. Keep pushing into that back foot. Feel the day all the way through to your fingertips. Then inhale, straighten. Bring your hands down, lift the back heel. Come back to plank, all the way down to the mat. Peel yourself up, breathe in. Downward dog, right foot comes down, you step your left foot forwards. And come all the way up, straight legs. Straighten off the pelvis, then bend into the knee, lift your arms with all those instructions I gave to you before. 4 more breaths here. Very lovely, strong but accessible pose. Really emphasize keeping the core muscles engaged, that pubic bone lifting. Lovely. Inhaling, straighten, and exhale, find your plank again. Lower yourself all the way down to the mat. Remember, you can drop your knees when you do that. Breathing and peel into a cobra, really activate the back muscles now. Exhale, downward dog, and we come to warrior 2. Stepping your right foot forwards, left heel down. So this is where front heel to back instep. And windmill the left arm up. And then bend into that front knee. And take a while. Back leg is super strong. Right leg, knee is trapped over the ankle. And you're trying to tuck the outside of your thigh and your buttock under. And you're dragging the tailbone down, lifting the pubic bone. So it's a lot of instruction, but the experience isn't opening across the front of the pelvis. And then loosen up the upper body. And have a very delicate quality through to your fingertips. 3 more breaths. Talked a lot. Hope you're all doing okay at home. It's lovely, lovely, lovely that you've joined me. 1 more breath in. And then windmill yourself back down to plank, down to the mat. Find your back bend. Downward dog. Right foot comes down. Step the left foot forwards, heel to instep. Bring yourself up with the right arm. Find your way into the pose. So here again, strong back leg, left buttock and thigh curling under. Now just feel the pose your way. Feel it as your own. Steady, steady breath. Find to wriggle around. 1 more breath in. And a breath out. Windmill your hands down to find your plank. Come all the way down. Find your back bend. And either take a rest in pose of the child or take a few breaths in downward dog. We're going to meet sitting in a moment. So you choose whichever pose is right for you right now. And come back to yourself, come back to your breath. Trying to really soften in the jaw and the face. And then if you're in downward dog, looking forwards and walk, step or jump your feet forwards. If you're in child's pose like me, just coming to sitting, and we'll all meet in Dandasana. Legs straight out in front. And find your sitting bones. If you have any lower back problems, just like when we were standing, you bend up your knees. If your legs are straight, pull your toes towards you. And we'll come to Paschimottanasana, which is the same as the standing balance, but we're sitting. So take a breath in and lift and find as much length and space in the upper body And on the exhale, come down about 1/3 of the way. So you're reaching, looking for length in the side body. Take another breath in. Come down another 1/3 on the exhale. Take another breath in, and then choose how far down you want to come. And I'm pushing my sitting bones and the tops of my thighs back. I've crossed my forearms to hold on to opposite feet, but that's not necessary. 4 more breaths. Use the exhales to release deeper. Really feel your way. Feel the experience, the response of your body to the pose. One more breath in. And a long breath out. And then gently releasing and coming up. So we'll take a few extra vinyasas, but not after that pose. We'll take a vinyasa after the next pose as an optional possibility. So I'd like to come to that pose that we did standing with the belt, if you don't mind. I've got no idea if you do mind. You bring your right foot, like a tree, you have the option of taking the foot into the inner thigh, or maybe your knee is all right for you to bring the foot all the way into the left hip crease so that your heel is pressing into your lower abdomen. I'm going to take a belt around the foot just to help me bind. You can do that if you like. So it's exactly the same pose as the standing balance, but easier because we don't have to balance. So you start off by holding the belt with the left hand. Can you see my left leg, the toes are pulling towards me? That's to engage the hamstrings. If you need to bend the knee, then you release. Sweeping the right arm behind to either reach for the big toe or the belt. You just pull as far in to that foot as you can. And then lift up with the left arm, inhale. Finding length and reach. Maybe you reach the foot, maybe you don't. Let's hang out a while here. I think this is one of the best all-round poses there is. There's so much going on in it. So can you on the inhale find a really open chest and a long spine? And on the exhale, can you maybe surrender a little bit? Can you feel that right heel pressing into the left lower abdomen? Stay very present to the breath. I forgot to say practice Ujjayi. Maybe some of you are doing that anyway. And by the way, I've had lovely few emails over the last few days. I really appreciate the feedback, the requests. I just love the fact there are 2 or 3 members of this virtual community on Lewis at the moment practicing. Don't know why that tickles me, but it does. Other people all around the country and international. Just a wonderful thing to be doing, I can't tell you. And then gently releasing out, And we'll take the pose to the other side. I'm not answering everybody's emails at the moment because I'm not even supposed to be on it. Well, I'm not on email. I'm only getting the emails that are forwarded to Will's address because I can't get on my email at the minute. And so then you're bringing the left foot into the thigh. We're bringing it right over into the right hip crease with or without your belt. Take your time. So really pull it in. Feel the heel into your lower abdomen. Right toes coming towards you if that's possible. Sweep the left arm behind you either for the belt or the toe. So for those of you who've been doing this every day with me, maybe you notice progress, or maybe you notice it gets harder each day. Lift up the right arm, inhale for space, then exhale, come forwards. And wriggle around a little bit to find where you want to explore for 5 breaths. Every inhale is a lengthening and a spaciousness, and every exhale a surrender. Stay steady with the breath. One more breath in, long breath out, and then gently release. Release the belt. You won't need the belt anymore. And here you have a choice of simply lifting yourself up, of taking cat-cow movements on your all fours, or rocking forwards, jumping into plank, bringing yourself all the way down, finding your back bend. This time I've taken an upward dog so my knees and my hips aren't down. Take a breath in. Exhale, downward dog. Have a little stretch. Look in between your hands and walk or jump yourself forwards. Marichyasana C. It's the only twist in the sequence, and it's a good one. Bring your right knee in, foot about a fist distance apart from the left thigh, and engage the left leg. Left elbow around the knee and breathe in, lift up the right arm. Take it behind you so you can use that hand to lever you up. Maybe you're just perfect with the left elbow here. Maybe you can take the top of the arm to press into the outside of the right knee, palm facing forwards. And then your belly, your chest, you wriggle them around over that thigh, looking over the right shoulder. Let's take 3 more breaths. Every breath in, you lift. Every breath out, you wriggle into a bit more of a twist. So good for your internal organs. Keep breathing. 1 more breath in. And a long breath out. And we'll immediately bring that pose to the other side. Left knee in. Right elbow around the knee to begin with anyway. Left arm, you lift it and swing it behind you. You can even use your hand here to pull the thigh around over the belly, or the belly and the chest around over the thigh. Maybe you stay with the elbow crooked. Or you bring the top of the arm and press it. With the right arm pressing against the outside of the left knee. Right toes are engaged. And then breathe in, find length. And breathe out, find your twist to the left. Wriggling and finding your possibility for movement. I find with twists, you can't force them. You have to kind of cajole your way in, wriggle your way in. 3 more breaths. One more breath in. And a long breath out. And then release. And take your choice of cat-cow, a little lift, or a sneaky little vinyasa with me. Downward dog, if that's where you're coming. And then wherever you are, looking forwards, coming straight into Navasana, boat pose. So half Navasana, lower legs are parallel with the floor. Straight spine is important, and an open chest, open collarbones. I'm cheating, I'm holding my legs. Take 3 more breaths here. You feel the strength, but you also feel the openness across the upper body. 1 more breath in, and then cross your shins. Take your hands down beside you and exhale, lift yourself up. Come back down for part 2. I'm going to take part 2 half again, but with my hands away. 4 more breaths. Challenge is to keep relaxed in the upper body. Easier said than done. So that the work happens in the core, which is what the function of this pose is. Feel the abdomen working. Don't do it with your gums or your eyes. 1 more breath in. And then cross your shins the other way. Lift yourself up. Come back down. And we have 1 more Navasana. So you could keep your legs bent, or you might like to try the full pose, legs extended. Don't stop breathing. 2 more breaths. 1 more breath. Choose if you're going to come into vinyasa. Don't have to. My Navasana is not so good. That boat pose not so good. My core is not so strong. I hope some of you are better than me. Breathe it out into downward dog. Or you might be resting, sitting. And then walk, step or jump yourself into Baddha Konasana. Much more of a passive, lovely hip opening pose. Just to release everything that we've just condensed and concentrated, contracted in the boat pose. This is why this progression is so logical. Each pose that comes after the next addresses the effects of the pose before it. So Baddha Konasana. Bring your feet together, your heels as close into the groin as possible. You might be sitting on something, and take your hands behind you and lift yourself up, and then sit down in front of the sitting bones. Take hold of the feet, or take the thumbs inside the insteps to peel open your feet like pages of a book. You can use your elbows to push the legs apart here. And we're going to take 5 breaths. But with the inhale, press into your sitting bones and the heels of your feet and brighten up the chest and lengthen up the spine. And on the exhale, feel the lower body in particular. Feel it's a very earth relating pose. And then 4 more breaths in your own time. Can you soften in the face? A bit of an inner smile. One more breath in and a long breath out. And we'll go straight into Upavista Konasana, where you open your legs out as wide as they'll go. Please bend your knees or sit up on something if you've got any lower back problems at all. If your legs are straight, pull your toes towards you. Take a breath in, filling the upper body with space, and then breathe out, come forwards. And you could do whatever you want with your hands. They could be out in front of you. It's really nice to hold on to the big toes. And the aim here is to keep pushing, to keep skidding your sitting bones further out behind you, taking the tops of your thighs further back, and then see how that releases you into a little bit more of a forward fold. 4 more breaths. Try and be quiet. One more full breath in and a long breath out. And then very gently coming all the way up. And pausing for a moment before we come onto our backs. Hope you're feeling good. Let me come down for back bending. 2 back bends, the choice is yours. First of all, come down on your backs. Lower your feet down so they're about hip distance apart, heels quite close to the buttocks. Maybe you can touch your heels, maybe you can hold around the ankles. And find length in the spine and inhale. And then on the exhale, lift up. And I'm really curling my upper arms underneath me to squeeze the shoulder blades. I've got a bit of a shelf. The upper arms, legs are parallel. And then really push into the feet to lift the pelvis, the hips as high as they'll go. Keep a nice space in the throat. 4 more breaths. Maybe really enjoying this opening of the front body now after so much. We've done a lot of forward folding. So we're counter posing for that. Also really strong on the legs. One more breath in. And then release your shoulders, release your upper arms and come down bone by bone. Find the mat with your back and take a moment. You might even want to intuitively bring your knees in. Now yesterday I did a full wheel, but I'm not going to do that right now. I'm going to do another bridge. If you're going to do a full wheel, you start with your hands by your ears, fingers pointing in. I'll talk you through it even though I'm not going to do it. If you're going to come into your bridge, come in the way you came before. If you're coming into full wheel, please keep your knees in towards each other and your thighs parallel. And inhale. And on the exhale, only push as far as the top of your head. Take another in-breath here. And then use the exhalation to push yourself into full wheel. Like I said, I'm not doing it. And if you're in a full wheel, you're trying to straighten your legs, straighten your arms, and take your chest through your arms. Try to keep the knees coming in and not out. 3 more breaths wherever you are. One more full breath in and a long breath out. If you're coming down from wheel, please keep looking at the ceiling. Please keep looking at the ceiling as you gently come out bone by bone. And then we'll all settle our backs down. Feel the back settling. Bring the knees in for a little bit of a hug, a little bit of a rock around. A little bit of a circle if you've got any feeling you need to soothe the lower back. Taking those circles in the opposite direction. And we're going to roll up for our last forward fold again. So it's a pose we've already done today, Paschimottanasana, and it's lovely to do it after those back bends. Sitting bones firmly rooting into the mat, toes bringing towards you unless you're bending your knees up. And this time we'll just come down in one sweep. So inhaling, find length. Exhale, reach, 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 reach. 5 breaths. 5 breaths. Breathe space into the back of the body. One more full breath in and a long breath out. And gently coming back up. So it's come to that time in the practice where there's 5 minutes left, and I'm going to guide you into a seated settling and relaxation. But if you at home really love to do a shoulder stand, you know what you're doing, you love to do fish, maybe even love to do headstand, those are the poses that traditionally would finish up this practice. I'm not going to teach them now, and if you're doing them at home, you're taking full responsibility for what you're doing. I'm going to invite you, if you want to join me, to come to a seated pose. You might come into, if you like, and you're used to Padmasana, lotus pose, this would be the time to do that. Or you might be sitting up on a block. Whatever you're doing, we're looking for space in the upper body, space to breathe, relaxing across the chest and the shoulders. And close your eyes, whatever seat you've chosen to come into. And take a moment to notice the breath in the body. And all we're going to do is take 5 very deep breaths in and out before coming to relaxation. So as you breathe in, breathe deep down into your belly. Feel your belly expanding. Feel your pelvic floor expanding. And then breathe out completely. Maybe even feel a little contraction of the pelvic floor as the breath releases back up and out. And then take another full breath in. Really feel your diaphragm. Pushing down on your abdominal organs, your pelvic floor, and then breathe out, releasing everything all the way up. 3 more in your own time. Making the next full breath in and out your last. And you might like to stay in a seated meditation. You might like to come and lie down flat on your back. Please make sure you're warm enough. I'm going to be wrapping up the Zoom, but I would recommend that you stay for at least 10 minutes in relaxation after a practice like we've just done. And I just want to thank you so much again for coming to these classes this week. They've been a bit different. There is a Saturday refresh flow tomorrow, but